On August 13th, a 10-month-old girl named Scotty Crowell was found in the back seat of a car in Kentucky. She did not survive the afternoon. This tragedy happened because of a simple lapse in routine. Her grandmother, a medical doctor, picked her up that morning to take her to daycare, but instead drove straight to work, unknowingly bypassing the drop-off entirely. It is easy to assume this only happens to negligent parents, but routine disruption can bypass intellect and professional training. When our autopilot takes over, even the most important tasks can be filtered out. To shift the burden away from human memory, we are going to build a 3-step child vehicle safety system designed to function even when you are tired or distracted. Recognizing that our brains are biologically vulnerable to routine changes is the first step toward preventing these incidents. To understand why these systems are necessary, we need to look at how quickly a vehicle's environment changes. On a 95-degree summer day, the interior of a car becomes a heat trap. This diagram shows the greenhouse effect in action. Sunlight passes through the glass windows and is absorbed by the interior materials, where it is converted into thermal energy and trapped as heat. The dashboard and seats absorb this energy and radiate it back into the cabin, causing the ambient air temperature to rise much faster than the air outside. This data visualization highlights the specific danger for children, whose body temperatures rise 3 to 5 times faster than in adults. In a short window of time, the internal temperature can hit the 115-degree mark, the same temperature recorded in the car where Scotty Crowell was found. Because the conditions become fatal in a matter of minutes, relying on passive memory is not an adequate safety strategy. The first pillar of our system is the forced reminder. This is a physical roadblock that prevents you from finishing your commute without acknowledging the back seat. Identify one item you cannot start your workday without. This might be your smartphone, your employee ID badge, or even your left shoe. Every time you place your child in their seat, place that essential item on the floorboard of the back seat, directly next to the baby carrier. This creates a physical requirement. To begin your day, you must open the back door and reach into the footwell, putting you in direct contact with the back seat. By linking a deeply ingrained habit, like grabbing your phone, to the act of checking the car, you create a roadblock that functions even when your memory fails. Many hot car tragedies occur because a secondary caregiver incorrectly assumes the child was already dropped off. Step 2 is building a safety net. Set a rule with your partner or co-parent that requires a confirmation text immediately after every daycare drop-off. To make this system more robust, you should involve the child care facility directly. Contact your daycare today and ask them to implement a formal absence alert policy. Under this policy, the facility agrees to call your cell phone immediately if your child is not signed in by their scheduled arrival time. These overlapping layers of communication ensure that if one person's routine is disrupted, another person's protocol will trigger an alert. Step 3 is a physical habit called look before you lock. This goes beyond just checking the rearview mirror before you get out. The process is simple. Turn off the car, step out, and walk to the rear door. You must physically open that door and look at the seat before you ever touch the lock button on your key fob. Making this a non-negotiable step every time you park helps move the action from your conscious memory into your muscle memory. This is particularly important on high-stress days, when you are more likely to be operating on autopilot. When this sequence becomes an automatic movement, you are no longer relying on your brain to remember the child is there. You are relying on a habit to show you the seat is empty. You now have a 3-part safety system: the forced reminder, the safety net, and look before you lock. We have to move past the idea that I could never forget. Fatigue, stress, and routine changes are biological realities that affect everyone. Share this specific 3-step routine with anyone who ever transports your child, including grandparents, babysitters, and friends. Alternate caregivers are often at higher risk because they don't have the same daily drop-off habits as a primary parent. Acknowledging the reality of how our brains function is a necessary part of child safety. It replaces a passive hope for memory with a consistent physical routine.